Yo, good evening. Man United Agenda here. I'm here with Mr. B. I'm OMONDI Juma, and we're going to be discussing the future. The future. Yo, everybody, how's everyone doing, man? It's OMONDI Juma, Man United Agenda. Yes, 8:30. That's our scheduled time these days. And I hope everyone's in the house joining us because we've got another fantastic show. Mr. B, how you doing, man?
Full of smiles, man. I haven't stopped smiling. A certain Dutchman with as much hair as me.
Yeah.
Put a smile on one's face. So, yeah, I'm feeling
Wicked.
happy one day, man. I'm feeling happy, man.
So you got a spring in your step since all the news has kind of been announced about possibly our new manager.
Yeah, not too much of a spring. My knees are giving me a little bit of jip, but yeah, the top half is doing the bop. Yeah. I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling the joy.
I hope you're treating your customers and all the road rage victims of yours every day a lot nicer since this news has been announced.
Let's just say I swear now with a smile on my face.
Oh, boy. So today we're here to talk about the future. And as they say, what's that saying? The future's bright. The future is orange. And those are the colours of the national colours of this Dutchman. So finally, we've got a philosophy coming in and a style of football and all nice things about Dutch football that we have to integrate with this English football. And hopefully the outcome will be really good. So tonight, me, Mr. B, and Eddie as well. Eddie's likely to come on as well. We've got an assignment, and the assignment is this, basically. Obviously, Ralph's been talking about forwarding the plan, like putting a plan together since he's been at the club. And I think since the day he arrived, this is what he is. He's one of the best of planners at the club. And he's built other clubs, as you know, with his history with Schalke and RB and all these other clubs he's dealt with. So for us to be successful, and really at the end, we really have to define what success is. But for us, so here we go. Eddie's in the house. How you doing, Eddie?
How you doing, guys? I'm doing all right. It's just my internet was messing up a little bit. Sorry, guys, but hopefully you're hearing me properly. Am I coming in nice?
Yeah, all good, all good.
Nice and clear.
Okay. Have you got a tint of orange now? You look like you got the background's all orange.
Yeah, I usually have a light on the back to make it red. You know,
is this to represent the Dutchman coming in?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say to represent Man United, but
there's a tinge between red and orange.
Yeah, it's a bit orange now to represent the Dutch colours. Then I guess, yeah.
So how are you, Eddie? How's it going?
Yeah, a little bit flustered. Had a bit of a busy day, but you know we're going to get into a bit of debate, aren't we? I'm going to have a little bit on, because I got a chance to look into Ten Hag a little bit, and then look at like a reference of what he could do in a few years. So I'll have a bit, but I'm going to be relying on you guys to
man, don't worry, man.
Let me serve this up, and then you can yam on this meal. So basically, it's like Radnik, we were just saying, great guy, great planner when it comes to organisation of a football club. And that's what he's trying to do for us. So obviously, he's been behind getting this guy, Ten Hag, in. Is probably the best move that we could have made. He's young, exciting. He's highly touted, and I think he deserves it because he's overachieved at Ajax. I mean, winning league at Ajax, that's just par, but doing better in Europe, that shows you've got something special there. So the rebuild is like, it could take a while. So I'm just going to refer to Arteta. Now, we know Arsenal, they are one of our rivals, eternal rivals. They're above us at the moment after 2 8th place finishes. And Arteta's had 2 years and 5 transfer windows, and now they look like a side. I don't know if you agree with me. Am I on the right track? Do you all agree? They look like a
unfortunately, it's looking like rookie Arteta has got some game plan to him and is communicating it across to the lads. So hopefully they can't keep it going. That's what I'm hoping for.
So my assignment to you guys is, in 2 years and 5 transfer windows, what do you hope we can achieve under Ralph directing things, obviously whatever role he plays after this, and the structure of the club, whatever structure he sets up? I want your vision now, both of you, of what 2 years, 5 transfer windows roughly. what's the rebuild like? How are we going to look different? I want to know, like, what's your strategy going forward? How long will it take for the philosophy to be implemented onto the players? That kind of thing. It's over to you guys. Anything else, I'll just throw it in. And what's the season one? What would be the key performance indicators for you to see where we're developing? Would it be title challenge initially, or do you want to build up to it by getting the formation right and getting the players right? What sort of players and what sort of roles should players be filling? And after this, once we fill this, so I don't want to touch this. After this, we're going to go on to the current squad and who's in danger of not ticking the boxes here. So we leave that one out for now for current squad. I want to know about what you guys can tell me about Ten Hag, what you've learned, what you've studied so far, and the rebuild. How does your rebuild go? And I want to start with you, Eddie, because you just come on the show. But if you can just hit me with it, take as much time as you want. Everyone's listening. Over to Eddie. Let me know.
Wow, it's putting the spotlight on me, like, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm on a podium, you know, about to do like some kind of presidential speech or something like that.
And if you say anything that deserves objection, we will be objecting and coming in. So just be mindful.
It's cool, man. We're here to debate. So, first of all, I was just thinking of like a good reference because we've seen different managers come into the division, FA Premier League, and then there's been questions over whether they can transplant their philosophy from certain leagues that are not rated as high to the Premier League. And all I could think of was Klopp. Okay, all I could think was the way he came in, and we know he's got a high pressing system that needs a lot of energy. So in that first season when he came for Liverpool, we saw he only got like the 8th place. He had to deal with players like the likes of Sacco, Torre, Klein, Moreno, Lucas Leiva, people like Lallana. Fairly average team, I think you guys would agree. So I wasn't surprised that he got, you know, that 8th place. But the thing is, he got them to that Europa Cup final, didn't he? Finished 2nd, so it was kind of unlucky. So the backing he got, and this is what Ten Hag needs. He needs to get a spine to come in, because I noticed that Klopp was able to sign a centre back, centre mid, and pretty much a forward. He signed Wijnaldum. No, let me start at the back. Signed Matip for free.
Oh yeah,
that's a great scout there. Then he got Wijnaldum from Newcastle. I don't think people were really rating him when he was at Newcastle. I think obviously the football purists saw that he was good, but he was signed for 30 million. Good signing. I didn't even rate him at that point, but he came in and he was great. Yeah, exactly. People like Mane, I thought he was bang average at Southampton. I thought he was okay.
Okay.
What do you think of Mane at Southampton? I didn't think he would go to Liverpool and, you know, become one of the best African players. Did you see that?
No, I'll be honest, I didn't.
Yeah,
that's why you have to have faith in your coach.
Exactly.
He saw something in him. Sorry, I'll let you finish. Just want to cut you in quick because my memory's full of shit. Yeah,
that's cool. So
it's coaching. I'll let you finish.
So he signed the spine there. I expect Ten Hag at least to get the spinal signings: centre back, centre mid, and a forward. And hopefully, if you know the Glazers are liking him, a winger as well. But that could be for the next transfer window. And we saw that Liverpool finished they finished 4th, so that's a big jump from 8th place. Yeah. So I'm thinking it's going to be hard to really transplant that to Man United, because I was trying to think of what kind of soap opera they had at Liverpool. I didn't really think. Did we hear of like the dressing room split? Did we hear of all these?
Sarko was playing the arse, and they needed him, and he just said, "No, you're not coming back."
Okay, but what was it? Was it like, because I would think that's a little bit endemic rather than pandemic, because it seems like the whole squad of Man United, they all have different kinds of prima donna attitudes, right? I mean, we were hearing about Ronaldo and Maguire going at it, you know, having a bit of conflict. There's other people. I mean, I'm not sure. It seems like Ten Hag may need more signings in that first window, but realistically, I don't think that's going to happen. But let me just carry on to another transfer window that Liverpool had. In the 3rd season, they went ahead and signed Salah, Robertson, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Van Dijk for their second transfer window. That's big. Yeah.
Wasn't Van Dijk in January? So they missed out on him initially.
Oh yeah. Van Dijk in January. So that would be a third transfer window, I guess. But it would be within that second season anyway. So after that, I think they were finishing fourth again. But we've got to understand there's got to be patience there, because the next season after that, they went on to win the Champions League in the fourth season. So for me, if we're going to try and see what Ten Hag can do, if Ten Hag could be another club, he would need the three signings, like I said, of the spine in the first transfer window, then an extra forward, extra fullback, extra centre mid, and maybe an extra centre back. Now, how many? I've lost count of the signings. That's maybe about seven signings, I think, within three transfer windows. And then maybe we could be competing. But the thing is, we've seen this team is very cultured on the counter-attack, right? And they're having to go and change to possession, which Ten Hag does. I've heard his philosophy be called the vertical tick-attacker. I don't know if you guys have heard that. Yeah. Playing out from the back. I do want to quickly talk about playing out from the back. Can I do that, real? Because
of course, go ahead. It's your call, man.
Guys, we've got problems with De Gea and Maguire, the way they play at the back. Mr. B, I'm sure I've seen one of your watch-alongs, Mr. B, complaining about that. I think you're drinking your milk, trying to calm down.
That's about right.
So, I could agree with you there, Eddie. We will have a lot of issues. I mean, obviously you've heard it, obviously the way Ten Hag plays, or the couple of systems in game. This is what I'm gonna pick your brain and a couple of you guys in the chat as well. He's got 3 formations that he plays in game, and it tends to drift to 3-4-3 diamond, 3-3-1-3. And a 4-2-3-1. So that's what it drifts. He tends to start in. Do we have the players at our club now to implement those changes? We're talking about Maguire. We're talking about De Gea. And we're going to have to.
In the second segment, let's come on to the players that we have currently. Cool. Let's deal with what our vision is for the future. Because I'm itching to get in on that. But
it's all connected. That's why I thought I would try.
Yeah, it is. We're blending that. I just think just go with the vision now.
Yeah, sorry, finish.
Give a good example, the parallels of Liverpool. I like that one.
Right. So I'm just roundabout finished anyway, really. So I was saying the amount of transfer windows to really get to challenging, I would
bring the ball up from the back. Bring the ball up from the back. You say about bringing the ball up from the back.
Yeah, I would say maybe because Man United is in such a mess. I would say first season we're going to see some real pain in the players trying to really play, because even if you get in a spine of the players you want, there's the right wing that's going to be a problem, or the left wing, or left centre mid, right centre mid, or right back. There's going to be problems there. He's going to have a pre-season that may help, because Klopp didn't have a pre-season in his first season, so you never know. Ten Hag could be faster on his track of progression. Second season, I'm thinking, because what I said with Liverpool, it'll be likely that Ten Hag will have, maybe 6 of his players in. That's like half a team. I think we'll start to see it in the second season, really. That's me being a bit negative. I'm hoping it'll be in the first season, but second season, I think we'll see a bit more of that Ten Hag possession play. And then I reckon third season, we'll see maybe they'll start challenging a bit. So really, I think first 2 seasons will be really about getting the philosophy really calibrated with the players, really. So I can't see them challenging to that third or fourth season. That's my long answer there.
Thank you very much. I think it's interesting that I really like the comparing to Liverpool, because the first Liverpool side I've seen that it was really poor compared to what they are now. So he has done a major transition, a major surgery on that club. What do you think about that, Mr. B? The comparisons with Liverpool. Were the Liverpool fans on their back when they weren't winning or coming 8th in the first season? Are we likely to get that with Ten Hag if we come 8th? And what's your vision now, Mr. B? Because I know you've been doing your homework. What's your vision for the future? If you were running things,
we're probably going to finish 8th this season anyway. So if he finishes lower than 8th next season, then everybody's going to be pissed. Let's be honest. You know, so wherever we finish this season, whether it's I was going to say 4th, what a fucking idiot. Whether we finish 5, 6, 7, or 8 next season, I want improvement. I'll be honest. Regardless of who we buy, he's got a summer to implement he's got pre-season, is what I should say, to implement his philosophy. We've got players at our club who are technically very good. We say all that they need coaching. With players who we blatantly know do not have the playing ability to play under Ten Hag due to the style that he wants to play. We will keep more players than we want to keep, I believe, this summer, just because we're not very good at Manchester United and are not very good at getting rid of players. So I still think we're going to have, obviously, the ones who are going to be leaving, the Pogbas, the Matters, I would like to say Matic, but I don't know what the club's going to be doing there again.
Come on, Jones has got to go before Matic.
Well, look, but it was just players. Jones is so far in the back recess of my memory as players who have pulled shirts on for us that he probably would have come down a long way. I've completely forgot. Look, we've probably got about 7 or 8 players who need to go or who will be going. We talk about Ten Hag and youth. You're right. This next season is going to be painful. I don't believe he's going to, because this season, I think maybe he's going to try and get the players. We know the players. We believe we know the players who can't play his way. Maybe he's going to try and coach them to play his way. So maybe we're going to get a couple of players now, because we need a couple of players and we know what positions we need to discuss that a little bit later. Certain positions need to be filled before the season starts. Now, if it's a club recommendation, it may be an issue. If it's his recommendation, that's what I would rather. It was somebody that if it's somebody from the Dutch league, I would rather that, because I know that he's seen these Dutch players week in, week out. He now has got 2 jobs. He's got the Ajax job to finish the season, and he's still got our job now, the future job. Is he going to be trusting the club to purchase the players to fill the positions that he feels that we should be filling? Can he trust can he trust the board to go out there and not get the 3rd choice? When if you brought the manager in, he needs to be backed.
Do you trust them, Mr. B, real quick? Do you trust the board?
No, but what I'm seeing is a change in the upper echelons of it, as in maybe when one person had one role to do, it's now been split into 3. You know, so there's the load's now being shared, so maybe they can concentrate on that specific part of whatever they've been given to do. You know, I still don't understand what Fletcher's doing as a technical director, but he's obviously must have a role within the club. So it's the biggest issues, are the club going to back him? My problem is, are the club going to back him? If they back him the first 2 seasons, then I'm expecting to see a big change by the 3rd season. I don't expect it to be as long as Klopp. I'll be honest. I think Ten Hag is probably a better manager than Klopp, but I'm going to say that now, because I'll say that now. No, listen. Why I say that? why I say that, it's bias in it. It's because he's coming to us. You understand?
Okay.
So he's probably not. But right now, he's a better manager than Klopp. That's me.
I'm sorry, Mr. B. I think you've been
Our
clipped
squad,
for your first.
that's fine. That's fine. Our squad.
Let
When
me
we finish, one second.
go on.
As bad as our squad is, the names that you called out that Klopp had at his disposal, I think our players are better than what he came into at Liverpool. So I think that as much as the Klopp part was a wind-up, by the way, as much as Ten Hag is a lower level coach than Klopp, he doesn't have as much shit to deal with. So I think he's probably going to start on a higher grading with us. This is what I believe. But maybe this is my Man United tinted glasses. And after Saturday, when they've broken my heart again, then it will be a completely different thing. But right now, I've just got a loving with this whole Ten Hag and how he's going to get these players to play a way that is alien to a lot of them.
Okay, that's brilliant, Mr. B. The question here, so we're saying how long is it going to take to implement the plan? I think both of you said about 3 seasons. We should be. What is the goal? I mean, what is the goal here? The target is to be challenging for major trophies, which is European Champions League and the title. These are the trophies that big clubs should be challenging for, and that's where we want to get back to. But I know Ralph said himself, it's the goal for him is to be in a different situation. He didn't say challenging for titles. He said the goal is in free transfer windows, when he was saying about free transfer windows, is to be in a different situation. And I think that's the structure of the club, where you can fall back on stuff, where it's easier to manage stuff. At the moment, we're in a mess, I believe. That's what he's trying to say. And also going back to the point about when you're negotiating a new deal, it's really, we had some good insight from Bath Time yesterday. He was saying that in part of the deal, and it could be going forward, part of management deals, is you're signing a contract. So you're saying, I'm going to deliver A, B, and C. But to do that, you want the board to deliver certain things, release money, give you reassurance that you're going to do certain things, and you have an agreement. That's where you shake on it. So there's a thing called a compensation deal now, where the manager, mainly Ten Hag, could make the demands on the Man United board. This could be the change for us, and say to him, these are the expectation I have. This is what I want from you. And if you don't deliver that, then I can walk out and get compensation for it. So legally, they're tied into a deal like that. And I think that benefits the manager and us, because we've had so many problems and issues with the board. Everyone always blames the Glaze and everything else. So that could resolve that kind of issue. Second point for me is the time scale here. What sort of players are we going to get in? Because you guys have had a look at Ajax. You've seen how they've been successful. The type of player they got in. They got Danny Blind at left back, for example. He's got really good numbers.
Thank you.
He's got really good numbers. And we got Luke Shaw. You think Luke Shaw's a better player, younger and everything else. So what is it about Danny Blind? It's the system that's helping him get these numbers. So Danny Blind's got good IQ and lacks the physicality maybe because of his age. So we need that balance, because Ralph has been talking about aggression, but we need that balance of the Dutch mentality. It works for them because they're technical, but to mix that, blend that with, have a recipe of that with the aggression of so-called English players. And that's the mold we should get. So we won't be identical to Ajax, so don't see us. We'll be our own brand of football, which could be even better when you combine the two attributes like that. And finally, my final point is going on to what are the key expectations here from each year? So you said 3 years. I'm saying depends for me what the clear out is. I think we're going to come on to that in a minute about who's leaving and who should be under threat in the current squad. But I do agree with both of you. You make some valid points. But what I do want to know more information about, is what makes Ajax so effective right now. What we've seen with them. And you mentioned the systems, Mr. B. I think the systems do change in game. You said that brilliantly. I think in games they do change, because once they got the ball, then they can overrun teams with their width and with their extra runners, and Tadic doing his thing. And it's not symmetrical. You got Anthony on one side, and you got Tadic or someone else on the other side, and they do different roles. It's not like symmetrical where they do the same thing. That's what I like about it. You got the right back and the Moroccan guy who mirades and gets forward and then cuts inside, that kind of thing. And you got Danny Blind, who does something else completely different. So I like that, and I just think it's going to take. It depends on, like you said, about the structure, bring that spine in the team. Depends on what signings come through and what he can do to work with our players as a coach what improvements can he make with our players as a coach. And I think he'll be digging into the youths and those sort of guys to really demonstrate how good a coach he is and bringing those players through. Do you want anything to add to that before we go on, guys?
Yeah, Box is asking if you believe Matic will be our Danny Blind.
What, sit back in defence? He could stroll in defence, maybe.
Are you Are you really good? You're a big
Eddie, what do you think about that?
I'm just thinking, like, how old is Daley? Is Daley Blind the same age as Matic?
31. 31 or 32.
Matic is about 34, 33, something like that. I'm just thinking about Matic's engine, if it's still going to be good next season, you know. I mean, I think we had a little conversation, not a conversation, when I was on the show before on Monday, we discussed if everyone knows their job around Matic, his legs could be saved within the game for him to just do his job and not slow down, not gas out. I'm wondering if Ten Hag can, because Matic is the best technical midfielder we have, apart from Pogba, but Pogba we know is temperamental. So Matic is the best technical guy. So maybe we could see a Ten Hag effect, you know. Seriously, Mr. B, we could see Matic come to the forefront, you know.
Mr. B laughed out loud.
I did.
Why is that?
I really did. Because he's done. I don't want no what's Dad's Army FC? He doesn't need these old players, man. If they're gone and they're supposed to be leaving the club, let them go and give him the power to rebuild.
Just can I just throw something out there about this question? I think Matic has got, like, when we talk about Dutch football, it's all about possession, it's all about technical abilities, that kind of thing. The physical side of things not apparent, but I think Matic has got the IQ and the technical skill, and he's also got the physical. And I think if you look at the job that Alvarez does, is Alvarez the Mexican guy? Is playing as a centre DM, so-called DM in the Ajax squad. He's a centre back, and he's just technical, big and strong. He reads the game, cuts things out, and I think Matic could do that job quite effectively and learn. And Matic could be a key player, an experienced player, to help us in the first season to get other players on board to learn this kind of style that we're going to be implementing into our side soon. Anyway, any more questions from the comments or anything you've seen, guys?
There's a few. Where were we?
Okay,
it's the normal hellos. All
right, so we've got we're talking about, there was an issue about the distribution, about the keeper. I think it was you, Eddie, saying about bringing the ball out from the back, and someone Saragon saying Ten Hag will coach De Gea to suddenly be able to distribute the ball. I'm not sure he could do that.
I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna hold up my hand right now and say, if he has to choose between Henderson and De Gea for his style, he's gonna choose Henderson. He's gonna choose Henderson.
When has Henderson showed that he's got better distribution? He's not even played that much for me to even.
Last season, I don't think he's a better shot stopper, but I do believe that Henderson, you know, there's certain examples. He throws that. You see, when a team attacks and then we break, his distribution, whether it's throwing or kicking, it might not go exactly to the player, but it's always in the right direction. And then we're always able to break on teams. So that part of it I see a lot. When De Gea picks up the ball, he waits and waits and waits for the opposition to set in their position, for us to set in our position, and then he plays. So there's no advantage. Whereas Henderson kind of plays it quick. So I would believe that Henderson is more likely to be playing than De Gea.
Okay, I you know what? I do see that that could be possible, as well as what you said. He's younger too, so we know that when you're younger, you tend to be more likely to be more malleable to learn a different style. De Gea is now a veteran at this point, so I can't really see his distribution improving. So I reckon we could see more Henderson, or maybe on the.
It's kind of interesting as well that at Ajax he had the Cameroon keeper Anna got banned, and he's very good with his feet, and he came through. I've read that was he came through based on his ability with his feet, and he edged out the old keeper. You know, so I think it's possible that he may, like Patrick was saying yesterday, with what Pep Guardiola did as soon as he came to the club. Jay said to Joe Hart, he's not interested. He needed a keeper who could work with his feet. And if it's apparent that De Gea is not doing that, and he can't coach out of him, that's an interesting one. I just want to say big up to a couple of people here. We've got Big British Bolt in the house. He's read the thumbnail, and we know he knows we talk about Kalvin Phillips in a bit, so we come back to that. Just want to say hi to Pat Lawless, of course. Pat Lawless said, cheers talk. I have the women throwing themselves on the ground in front of me when they see him in the hoodie, because Pat won the hoodie thing. Phil Palms is in the house. How you doing, Phil? I also want to say hi to Matty Jones in the house, and also TalkMU doing a great cause, Football versus Cancer. Go and check that out. Go and subscribe to the channel there.
And a subscribe, guys.
And Saragon saying first season 4th, second season 3rd, season trophies, 3rd season genuine contenders for honours. So that's a bit more.
3 seasons. 3 seasons.
Yeah, that's a good. But the 4th place initially first season.
I mean, I was saying something similar, but I forgot to say the big thing is if the board actually backs him properly, then
this is the problem. This is the real. I think we're gonna see how much they have to back him. You know, but then you're talking about backing him. Are you talking about backing him with financially, or the amount of deals that can be done?
Both.
You know,
if we've got both. Yeah.
Well, right. Well, this is. Is the structure at the club to get all of these deals done? We went through the whole of January. We were.
There's a plan. There's a plan. There's like a 4-year plan, 5-year plan. A bit like Benitez. When Benitez came in, he said, "I've got a 4 or 5-year plan." When he came to Liverpool, there's a plan. I'm sure there's a plan. Ralph's talking about that 5-year plan now, in talking about the windows and 2 years, whatever. They have to. I think when they're doing a contract, they have to sit down and say what do they expect to achieve in a certain period of time. So key performance indicators. At the end of the season, we expect to be maintain mid-table or something like that, if that's the agreement. And the next season, we want to go into the transfer market. Now, here's a couple of things that I just want to point out. Just say, guys, make sure you press the like button while the guys tuning in, and big up to Brush as well at bath time. So this year, we've got 6 weeks out from, I think it's November the 12th to the Boxing Day. That's for the World Cup. So someone might impress in the World Cup, and we've sign this guy in the January transfer window. You don't know, but it's a long way out. It's going to be really upheaval, isn't it, for the Premiership when we've got this big gap of 6 weeks when there's the World Cup going on as well. You know, that's a major factor. So overall,
sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was just going to ask real quick because I'm going to forget. You know, when you talked about the contract, that's very important. Right? Like, how certain is it that Ten Hag is, making the deal for how many signings he's going to get in the contract? Because we've seen with previous managers, it's not been the case. It's been too much of a history of managers getting overruled, like with Ole. The signings he was getting after was counter-attack, then it turned to possession.
I mean,
signings.
Do you think, Mr. B, do you think we've been striking early? Because we're making better moves now. By getting the manager in early, do you think he will be negotiating these deals and getting what he wants in early? So they won't be installed in by July the 1st.
I mean, but then Amanda, you have to look at it as a philosophy change within the actual club, and all of the hits on the social media stuff. We all understand what it is. The more hits they get, so they long it out.
Yeah.
And they have us moaning. Wouldn't it be better? I understand what you're saying. I would rather the summer comes, June the 1st or July the 1st, whenever it is, before we fly out to Australia, everybody who he wants to have bought, he's bought. I would love that. So then he's got the whole of the summer. What do United normally do? We have these players. They come. 2 minutes before the first game of the season, the players had no time to buy his house, to look at, to settle his daughter into a school, to find out who's going to be delivering his Harrods shopping. You know what I mean? They don't have time. It's just, you understand, it's not always just about football. If you're coming from all right, if you live in a country, fair enough. If you're coming from a new country and you've got all of these things to do, and then you've still got to play football, give these people time to come in, settle down. And then guess what? The football becomes easy. If they've got their wife, fine. But if they've come on their own, then it makes things, they're lonely. You know, they haven't got time to do what, you know, give them time to settle into the area. You know, don't leave them in the fucking Lowry for 8 months, living out of a hotel in a suitcase. You know, these things need to be done. You know, if the player needs, look, yeah, sorry, let me
Nah,
just.
this
I hear you saying.
deep there. Yo,
No, but I
that
hear
was
you
deep.
saying, but this is why we're getting the structure of the right club done correctly. So all these roles will be, the people will be acting out their roles and getting the players in early and settling them down and getting things set up, whatever it may be, to make them feel more
That needs to
comfortable.
be done.
This
This
is
is
why
what
the
I'm
structure of the
saying.
club has these roles to get that done. And I think that's what Ralph's doing. He's setting it up so we can improve. He's probably looked at it and said, why isn't this happening already? You know? So, guys, we want to try and move on. What's the next bubble here? Because do you want to say hi to Rich Sports and Bath Time as well? And Box is in the house. What's the next topic there, please? Because we're going to move on and talk about. So we talked about how long will it take. We were saying about 3 seasons, and then we will start to get on his back. So we're going to be patient for the next 3 years, guys. Even if we're losing badly and thing, but I expect us to beat lower to mid-table teams. I think we'll still be a top team. The next topic, I think, is about the players at Man United right now and the squad. They've been getting away with murder for a few years now. So we're looking at it, and there was a report in the Athletic, really good read, and the outcome was they did the same as us. They assessed it over 3 seasons, and they said by the end of it, there's only 3 players that they believe will be remaining at the end of the club. And do you want to guess, guys, who these 3 players will be?
So Varane is definitely one.
Yep.
Sancho.
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
Sancho's 2.
Van
One
de
more.
Beek.
No.
Van de Beek. No. That's one of Ten Hag's boys, though. How can it not be Van de Beek?
Someone who signed a contract recently.
Oh,
Bruno. Oh shit, Bruno.
Bruno.
Okay.
So those are the 3 players. These experts from Athletic, they've looked at it, assessed it the same way we did. They said after 3 years, they expect those 3 to be the only 3 players remaining at the club. So they're kind of safe. I don't know if you agree with that, but let's look at the current squad that we've got and let's try and assess who's going to be nervous about coming into this new system, because we know it's a technical. You need to have technical ability. You need to have that aggression as well. So these are the attributes that you need to have. You need to have good mentors as well, and you need to be able to be coached by this manager. You know, so who do you think, when you talk about mentors, physical, technical, all these guys without the club, who's staying, who's going, and who should be speaking to their agent about getting out of there as soon as possible, because they're going to be sitting on the bench or something. Let's start at goalkeepers. Do you guys want to start with this? Who's our current goalkeepers?
I mean, we did talk a little bit already about De Gea, you know.
So what are we saying with De Gea then? Has De Gea got the attributes, everything to fit into the? We've looked at Ajax's team.
Let's be ruthless. No, he doesn't. But I don't think either of them have. I don't think either of them have.
Yeah, so De Gea's got to be onto his agent, I think, because from what I've seen, I don't want to be that harsh, innit, man. But you know, because I love De Gea. De Gea saved the team a lot this season. I don't want to forget that. We can't forget that. But if we're going to the new progressive stage, it's just like when I used to really love Wan-Bissaka, but I realized that the trajectory that the club's moving in, you have to be able to play with the ball. It's not just about counter-attacking and recovery runs and slide tackles. So, you know.
And another thing as well, Eddie, another thing as well is like how these players, I know we can only guess, but someone like Wan-Bissaka, do you think he can pick up a philosophy that easy? I'm not saying he's dumb, but do you think he's got the ability to learn a system like that? That's really important as well. That's the other thing. We can look at players' technical ability and their IQ and that kind of thing, but can we really judge whether they can be coached to learn something new? So that's something I want us to assess as well. So I want to assess the physical, the age, the IQ of players that we're going to go through and see if they really should be calling their agent or trying to settle down and get on with the coach. So Henderson, quickly. We're saying De Gea, no. Henderson, do you reckon he can get in?
If I could choose one, I'm thinking Henderson.
All right, so I've got IQ, physical, age, and whether they can be coached in this new system.
Go on, Mr. B.
I'll get rid of both of them. Get rid of both of them. Start from scratch.
Okay.
Back
Eddie?
the manager. Back the manager.
Okay, yeah. So De Gea, I mean, he's been a great servant. So yeah, maybe he moves on, and then maybe Ten Hag sees what he can do, sees what Henderson can do, and then yeah, I know the keeper would have to be bought then, wouldn't they? I mean, I don't see the likes of Grant coming to the forefront and doing anything. Heaton, he looks a little bit over the hill. I don't think he's going to be malleable. So yeah, Henderson stays. Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking over the next 3 windows. Both of them will probably be gone then, at this rate. The way you're talking, guys.
Yeah.
Let's look at the right backs, and don't forget we've got guys on loan as well. So currently got Delo. Delo's contract runs out in 2023. So does De Gea's actually, and so does Ronaldo as well. And is Luke Shaw's contract run out?
I think he's got a 1-year extension.
Luke Shaw, 2023. Yeah. So 2023, we've got Shaw, Dalot, Ronaldo, and De Gea all expiring. So let's look at right backs: Wan-Bissaka, Dalot, and Lerd. Is it on loan?
Lerd's at Swansea, innit? But he was at Swansea. And
so all 3 players: age, IQ, physicality, aggression, and can they pick up a new system? Are they calling the agent or are they out? Come on, guys.
Okay, well, look, I'll let you go first. Eddie.
I was just saying, like the age thing. I mean, Dalot and Wan-Bissaka are still pretty much they're pretty young, aren't they? I think the early 20s. I think they are. So technically, if you look at it on paper, they could be trained, But I think with Wan-Bissaka, like sometimes when you look at the way he takes that first touch and carrying the ball, and he just. I mean, I can't believe he used to be a right winger. I refuse to believe he used to be technical on the right wing. So I reckon Wan-Bissaka might have to go. Dalot, I don't really like Dalot, to be honest, man. I mean, I've seen him take shots from right back. I've seen him be not really that good defensively. But it's not even likely for us to replace both right backs. I wouldn't keep both of them, to be honest.
Sorry, can you throw in box? Thank you. Can you throw in Brandon Williams as well for us, please?
Yeah,
we might have to give Laird a chance. That's
I would give him a chance. He was doing bits at Swansea. They really liked him at Swansea.
So you think Laird can pick up the new Ajax philosophy, new style of football? Do you reckon he can pick that up?
Well, we say that because he's young. Yeah,
can be coached.
Okay.
So who's calling the agent? Who should be throbbing right now? I would say Wan-Bissaka.
I think Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka. Yeah.
I really like Wan-Bissaka though. You know what I mean? Like from when he was doing all them slide tackles, but you know what I mean? I know the direction we're moving in. It's not slide tackles, it's finesse. So
right. So what are we saying here? Let's wrap this up on the right backs. Lerd's to come back in. I think he should be given an opportunity to be coached to see what he's got. I like that Diego Dalot. I think we should offer him a new contract and see how that goes. What about what do you think? Quickly to wrap it up. The right backs.
Who is this? Me?
Yeah, whoever, man. Let's wrap it up.
Oh, see, I think the only one who's got a shot. Dalot, I think he can play. I think he can play Ten Hag's way. Whether he's got the sense, I think he's got all of the attributes to play. So I think Laird and Dalot stay, but Wan-Bissaka's gone.
Okay, let's go. I just want to go through some of the comments here. There's shoot the right back says bath time. Sell Wan-Bissaka just to Brandon Williams. Remind us of Brandon Williams. Thanks, box. And here we go. Send Laird on pre-season with Williams and see if they're ready. Good shout. Any more on the right backs? Any more comments down the right backs? All right, we're going to go to left backs. So people are talking about left backs already. So left backs, guys, do you want to name them and just quickly just have this formula to work out there? Call it an agent or not?
Sure, I think Shaw can. I think Shaw's got a chance. I still believe there's a player in Shaw. Tellez, no, I think he's too erratic. Right. Mengi, do we class is Mengi a left back? Centre back. Okay, well no, we'll bypass him then. Who else have we got a left back? That's it.
Brandon Williams maybe, but I don't think he'd be.
No, if he can't even get into the Norwich team, I don't think Brandon Williams even got a future at our club. Maybe he'll get loaned out again.
Okay, so he's just short at the moment. So maybe we need to buy a left back. Eddie, can we talk about left back, please?
I mean, if Shaw stands a chance, he's really got to sort out this fitness thing because I've seen like sometimes he seems to be he tends to look a little bit stocky, and then there's certain times where he won't overlap. He's like, I don't know, he seems temperamental as well. That's what I don't like about Shaw. Tellez, physically, I don't know, he seems like he's not really there physically, and then Mr. B was saying a little bit erratic. I mean, that last game when he came on, he looked like a Sunday league player. I don't know what he was on, man. I can't believe it. So it's a bit similar to the right back situation. It's like, if I'm there, yeah, I'm trying to get rid of both of them. I'm like, both you call your agents. It's like, no hard feelings, but you're both whack. But if I had to keep one, it's probably gonna have to be Shaw then, because it just seems like a fitness thing with him and getting him to overlap properly.
Can I say something to you? You see, we'll talk about just slightly. We'll talk about, get it in quick. Talk about Ten Hag's philosophy and his style. His left back very really bombs up the pitch. The left back tends to go centrally, and then the right back's the one who normally overlaps. So maybe Shaw won't have to overlap. He'll just become the third central midfielder if they switch to the 3-3-1-3 in game. So maybe he won't have to do the whole bombing up the pitch. That'll be somebody else's job further up.
Okay. I think it depends on the style of players you've got. So I know he does that at Ajax because Danny Blind can sort of cuts inside and has played defensive midfield, has played centre mid, and technically he's good on the ball. So that works for him. And then the other guy can go. So with that balance. But if we don't have that balance, maybe a right-sided player like Wan-Bissaka, no, he's not technically good enough. But I mean, someone it doesn't have to be.
And you see the points that you're talking. You see the points that you're talking about on Monday. It's technical. Right now, everything you're saying is technical. Yeah. So the players that we're looking at on our list, we're looking at the most technical players that we've got, really. Mr. Herbert.
Right, can I read this out? Because it's going to make me laugh. I know it is. Thanks for the money, £2. And we're talking about left backs. And Herbert's saying Mr. B was left back in the change room, I mean. Classic football joke. We love
Mr. Herbert, your donation is appreciated. You are still...
So Eddie, you've said your left backs. So guys, once again, when we're talking players, let's speed it up now. I'm looking at the IQ, the physicality, their age, their aggression, and whether they can adapt to learn a new system. That's what we're making our decision making on. So we're going centre backs now, and I'm not going to talk about Bailey because I think he's gone. We all agree with no point talking about Bailey. Do you think Bailey's got a future? Is it worth talking about Bailey?
He can't stay fit, isn't it? So I don't see him staying.
We're not going to talk about Jones then. Let's talk about Lindelof, Maguire, and Varane. So remember, IQ, age, physicality, ability to adapt to a new system. That's let's go.
We got one. We're keeping Varane. The other two can fuck off.
And you forgot politics because Maguire is 80 million. He's English.
Okay, you want to bring that factor in?
Again, are the club going to back the manager? I'm not saying sell him. They're not going to sell him. They're never going to sell him. But if he is not first choice, he may well decide he wants to leave. You get my point? There's ways of moving players on. If he buys 2 centre-backs or he finds out, because it's Varane plus 1, let's be honest. If he can find another centre-back, we've been linked with Timber, who he plays with every week at Ajax. If he comes in, do you think Maguire's going to get any first-choice football in the meaningful games? No, he won't. God, they have to give him the power to pick the team. Everybody has a blank canvas. We understand. Price.
Right, can we start naming the players? I've made 3.
Sorry.
Just for example, Box is saying he'd sell Tim Zabi, keep Jones as a floater, and have 4 for 5 as a 4 for 5 choice, backup utility guy. So that means I imagine Box is saying keep Lindelof, Varane, and Maguire for now for the first window. Can we have a decision, please, on these guys?
Lindelof, I'm keeping. I would keep all of them. I wouldn't get rid of any of them. I'll be honest. I wouldn't get rid of any
Eddie,
of them.
the 3 players that I've mentioned, Lindelof, Varane, and Maguire. And also, if you want to give a little summary, whether any of them can adapt, who's best suited to adapt to this new philosophy and style of play, who would fit in with that?
So is this just for like the first transfer window, or like overall? Where
Overall,
Just give me
just
a
overall,
brief
just
summary of
yeah.
what you think.
Overall.
Whether you're saying Maguire can go next window, whatever. What do you think about who should be contacting the agent about thinking about a move?
Okay, so realistically, it looks like Bailly, he'll go. He'll go. He's not really playing. Jones, yep, not really playing. He'll go. So those two are gone. Lindelof definitely staying in because we know he can play. Varane, obviously, he's one of the best guys there. It's just whether it's just whether Ten Hag gets the power to say, okay, Maguire, you may be not technical enough to be in my system, and Maguire to be on the bench. I want Varane and Lindelof in there. Maybe a centre back gets bought in, but yeah.
Why though? Because we're talking about IQ. Do you reckon? So we're saying I think Maguire's a big talking point here with centre backs. Do you think Maguire's got what it takes? Do you think he's got that learning curve where he can actually pick up the game and learn how to position himself like one of these Ajax centre backs do, Timber or whatever? In a word, do you think he's got that? I mean,
Do you know, Amanda? I know you talk about pace and you say it's all about positioning. Because he tends to play a really high line, that's where I feel that there may be an issue with Maguire. He may be able to learn everything that Ten Hag teaches him, but I just feel that lack of pace is a real disadvantage for him.
Yeah, and he's clumsy as well. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's a note from Emma. Hi, Emma. How you doing? There's a note from her. She disagrees. She agrees that Maguire might not be able to pick it up. Let's move on now to the centre midfielders. We've got a few guys talking points. So remember the factors. Let's keep this quick, guys. IQ, physicality. Can they got a learning curve to learn the system? One guy who knows the system is Donny van der Beek. He's at the club. We've got McTominay. We've got Fred. We've got Garner coming back in. We've got Hannibal, who's on the cusp of the first team. That's 5 midfielders I've named already. Can you think of anyone else that you'd like? Do you think
Bruno,
bring in
obviously.
All right, let's throw Bruno in the mix as well. I think Bruno's going to stay. So let's name these guys and Matic as well. We got to think about Pogba.
Matic...
Let's not touch on Pogba. He's going.
Yeah,
so come on, guys.
Fred
will.
Yeah, I'll say with Fred real quick. Yeah, his energy. He's got so much great energy, and we've seen under Ralph. He's able technically to go forward, get involved in the goal involvements. Assisting, getting a few goals. Because under Ole, he was doing nothing. But going forward, he can do a bit. So I reckon he can pick it up. Fred in there can do a job. McTominay, I'm sorry, but I don't think he's got enough finesse in his pass to be in this system. Yeah.
Call his agent then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But physically, he's there. I just don't think he's got enough finesse, and he's not calm enough to be making these little nice short passes because he's not really known for that. He goes hiding. He goes hiding when he plays. So I think McTominay should be on onto his agent. Who else we got? Yeah, Pogba's going.
Pereira, Matic, Garner.
Gone.
Okay, but I'm looking at the guys that really should be coming back in. Van der Beek. I feel sorry for him if he suffers that relegation with Everton, but it'll just be on loan, isn't it? It's an on loan relegation, doesn't count. So when he comes back in, his godfather, Ten Hag, who's played under, has got to say, Van der Beek, I'm sorry for what happened in the last few years, but you're coming home. I'm your dad again. I'm gonna, cultivate you, and So Van der Beek's going to be in there with Fred and Matic as well. I reckon he can still do something because he's technical.
When's Matic's contract up?
I don't know. Maybe someone in the comments can let us know. All right, so let's speed it up, guys, because we should be flowing with this sort of formula now. How to break it down?
It's hard though. It's hard to go quick.
Pick out one guy that you think will pick out. Pick out one guy. We already know Donny van der Beek will be able to got a learning curve. He knows how to play the system.
Garner.
So Garner. Let's talk Garner.
I'm expecting. Oh, we all know what he's done at Forest. Those 2 years. I mean, he said it. This last year at Forest, he's learned more than he could have learned at 3 years playing at the under-23 level. Man United actually got that loan right. We were moaning, we should be coming back into our first team to been involved in the car crash that has been this season. He's been away from it. He comes in with no baggage. he's going to come in full of confidence off a new season. The new manager, he's going to be soaking it up like a sponge.
Okay,
I think
good.
Ghana definitely is ready to go.
All right. Anyone else that you think we should discuss? Do you think Donny van de Beek would be good to have around because he would be able to help people in training to understand what they're learning here?
Yeah. He's got to tell Bruno to keep it simple. Yeah, Van der Beek's got to be given some kind of confidence to tell some of these players, because Van der Beek will know the system already, right? He's one of Ten Hag's students. So I want Van der Beek to be his deputy in the team. Maybe
do you think he would move him? Do you think he would? Because Van der Beek played the 18-19 season at Ajax. Van der Beek played as a number 10 under Ten Hag, yeah?
Right, yeah.
Do you think
left, he went to number 6?
Right. So but do you feel that he would move Bruno because Van der Beek understands the specific role that he would, or do you think he would move Van der Beek to a different position and train Bruno to play how he wants him to play?
I mean, Van der Beek's more versatile, isn't he? He can play, number 10, number 6.
So you're saying move Van der Beek and keep Bruno and train Bruno to the Ten Hag way, yeah?
I think that's more likely because Bruno, Bruno in the box-to-box role, he's not as disciplined, is he? We see him still go too far forward. So, yeah, I reckon we see Van der Beek be made into that versatile guy to move to that.
Ghana, Van der Beek, and Bruno, 3-man central midfield.
Okay, guys, I'm just going to go through a couple of comments here. Before we do, we've got 14 in the chat. Everyone press the like button, please. Let's get to 30 likes if we can. Let's make it to 30. So here we go.
10 more likes, please. 10 more likes, guys.
So Box is saying Hannibal and Ghana, promote them and get them in now. It's really important. They're ready to go. Box also saying give Van der Beek or give Peace a chance. Give Van der Beek a chance. Andy Herbert saying Charlie Savage. I don't think he's quite ready, but he's one for the future. Centre midfielder, of course. Box is saying Fred and McTominay squad men and keep Bruno in. Jesse Lawless. Pat Lawless is saying I keep Jesse over Donny van der Beek.
Really?
I think Donny knows his sister. Ghana all day, says Pat Lawless. Here, I just want to touch on this one. Brush is saying the trouble is we have a lot of players that are squad players at best, and if we use them as that, it's not much of a problem. It's not too much of a problem. So I wouldn't necessarily sell. I wouldn't sell necessarily. We just need an upgrade. It's like first team players. Once again, Matthew Bassett saying Ghana to ball out under Ten Hag. And finally, we've got Box here saying have Bruno, Hannibal, Ghana, Van der Beek, Fred McTominay, sell Pogba, Lingard, Mata, Matic, Pereira, and Chong. Okay, we're going to go on now because we've got 20 likes and we want to get 30 by the end of it. We're going to talk wingers now. We've got Elanga, we've got Sancho, we've got Rashford. This is going to be an interesting one, talk about Rashford. We've also got Lingard's probably going to leave. His contract's running out. We've got Shorteri. We've got in the reserves. Is anyone else? That's 4 people. We've got Martial coming back. His contract will run out, I think.
Ahmad on loan at Rangers.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Ahmad as well. So that's something to chew on, guys. Chew on that. Have they got the learning curve? Can they fit in? Can they play the Ten Hag way? Who do you see's got a promising future here? And talk about Rashford as well in the end, because that's a big question mark. Come on, let's go.
I think we still got Palestri, don't we?
Have we got Palestri?
Palestri, he's not even been seen.
Sorry, let's throw them out, guys. Come on, let's talk.
Well, Palestri,
IQ, physicality, aggression, your learning curve. Can these guys fit? Come on, let's speed this up.
Okay. Physicality, no for Palestri. But everything else, yes. You got to remember, he's broken into the Uruguayan first team. He's actually first choice. He's actually playing for Uruguay. He's actually playing for Uruguay. So I think he definitely got it. We know Elanga has, although we're hearing that certain players are calling him a teacher's pet. Rashford, I would like to believe there's still a chance. Sancho, without a doubt. Ahmad, I know we talk about physicality. He is so little. That's my only thing about him. He is tiny.
There's nothing wrong with being little, Mr. B.
No,
come on now.
Look, listen, I'm the king advocate for small man. I don't have no problem with that. You know what I mean? But I just feel that I'm not sure Ahmad is going to be able to get his own. I would love him to, but I just don't think Ahmad's got it. Rest of them, I'm keeping all of them, including Marcus Rashford.
All right, we come back to that. Eddie, you have your say on this. These
I'm not liking the wingers, apart from Sancho, because Sancho we know is technical with his link up, physicality wise. Yeah, he looks like he could handle himself. I think he's a confidence player as well. He just needs a bit of confidence and the right kind of coach to come in and really help him to keep progressing. The other guys just seem like, apart from Martial is technical. I've seen that he's kind of been misused in the way that he's played on the wing and up front under these recent managers like Mourinho and Ole. I reckon he could stand a chance to even,
really?
and you could clip me, I don't care, he could be used as a number 10, possibly, because his link-up play and his control, he's got the IQ to do it, right? If people around him are doing the job. Because I've seen highlights of him. Even when I've watched him, I've had my player cam on him. He's so good at holding the ball up and passing it. It's just about maybe sometimes he doesn't make certain runs. We've seen that. That's why he didn't work up front. But anyway, to keep it going, all the rest of the wingers, they're counter-attack wingers. I don't think they're going to work. Sorry, Mr. B. I don't think Rashford is going to work. But I think maybe his brain.
When we talk about Rashford, what is the reason for Rashford? Is it physicality? Is it age? Is it IQ? Not having that learning curve for the Ajax system?
The IQ is a deal breaker on Monday. The way he seems to panic when he has to slow down the ball, which is what you do in possession. He makes a lot of bad decisions, man. The way he tries to try and beat players, and even when he's tried to simplify his game under Ralph, he's just been absent. So he's either trying to dribble into brick walls or he's absent. I mean, I'm not going to ignore the goals he was getting on the counter-attack under Ole in the better seasons, but we're not going to do counter-attack. So I'm sorry, I don't see Rashford doing much. Ahmad seems like the same kind of player. Elanga seems the same kind of player in the way that they're just pacing behind. I don't think we're going to be doing that kind of thing in possession because we're going to be trying to beat a lot of low blocks. So for me, it's only Sancho that I'm liking, and Martial, like I said.
Is that because they play? You see them more as possession-based footballers.
You mean Sancho and
Sancho and Martial. You see them as possession-based footballers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the rest are just pacing behind. That's what I've seen.
I think Ahmad and Elanga could learn. I think Ahmad's very technical. I think he could be very effective with this system completely. I'm with Ahmad. He gets a thumbs up from me. So anyone else about Shawshire, whatever his name is?
I don't think he's going to have the time. I think he's going to get loaned out. I think he will get. I think he'll get loaned out to toughen him up. I just hope that, as again, whoever these young players, they get loaned out to the right club.
Okay. Guys, we're going to go on to, well, we don't have many strikers. So Cavani, Ronaldo. Beyond that, I mean, we've got Charlie McNair in the youth team is smashing it. I don't know what's happening with Greenwood, whether he's going to come back or not, but we're not going to talk about him. There's not many strikers to talk about. So do you think we need to buy a striker? And out of three, Cavani's obviously leaving. Yes. Ronaldo, what do you think Ronaldo's going to make of this new system? Let's go.
I've forgotten who the strikers are after Ronaldo and Cavani. I mean, are we counting Martial as a possible forward?
Well, we just spoken about Martial's.
Right. Cavani has to go because he's too many injuries. Bless you, Mr. B. Cavani, way too many injuries, way too many. Ronaldo, we know he's a phenom, but he's getting to the end of the road. I mean, seriously, 37.
What role can he play then? Because Ronaldo's the only one. What role can Ronaldo play? Do you reckon he can change and adapt to this sort of what Ten Hag might want from him?
I just really hope that Ronaldo can humble himself, because I've heard Ronaldo in interviews say, when I don't want to play, that's my decision. When I want to play, it's my decision. Almost implying that he's going to have that kind of clout over a manager. That's what I got from one of his interviews. But he needs to be an impact player, because I don't know. I'm sure you guys have seen when he's played some of these games, he's looked a little bit stiff, a little bit slow. Yeah? So I could imagine him being like an off the bench kind of impact sub. You know, I don't think that's disrespecting Ronaldo. He's 37. He could come on when say Ten Hag's trying to break down a low block, and he needs someone just to come on and do a power header. You know, get a little finish like that. So Ronaldo could be impact substitute. You know.
Do you think he would accept that though? This is the problem. His ego. I don't think his ego is going to dictate. I mean, if he would, that would be perfect. But I don't think he's going to accept being an impact sub, especially when the person in front of him, anybody who plays in front of him, who plays instead of him, is going to have lesser ability. He is who he is. But I'm saying for him, he's not coming there to be a teacher. He's coming there to be first choice. So I'm not sure his ego will accept that.
Okay, so maybe Ronaldo starts.
We need to buy a striker.
Nunes is beautiful, man. I mean, I've already seen highlights, but those highlights were good. You know, the way he can run with the ball. He's got he's physical, isn't it? He's big. He's a big forward. He's not
massive. He's not big. Did you watch him over there? He's not massive, but he's got good aggression. He runs a lot. When we look at the striker, when we look at the striker with the Ten Hag's currently playing with at Ajax, he's got a big, tall target man in Halle. It was what's his name?
Yeah.
Haller, yeah. And he just gets on the end of things. Most of his goals are tap-ins from team play, getting on the end of things and just finishing his dinner. I think Nunes does a lot more than that, but he could do that job. But it's ironic, isn't it, that they've got that one striker that doesn't have to do much running and just finishes stuff off. Ronaldo could actually do something like that. Jonathan David is said by Matthew Bassett on Lille. He's got one of the best pressing stats in Europe. That's really attractive to a lot of sides now. So we definitely need a striker. Those two names, Jonathan David, Nunes, is two good strikers. I'm just worried that Man United always try to go out for big name strikers. I just hope we could get someone who fits the bill rather than anything else. We've got 22 likes. We're going to wind up the show now. Anything you want to add? Any other players that you feel should be first window? We should be. Obviously, do we all agree that centre midfielder, the DM is a position? Because Mr. B raves about this for years now. He wanted that every window he wants a DM, and I do agree with him. So, is that the main priority for us now? That we should be looking for first team DM?
We'll talk a little bit about Rice. He for me, my opinion. I'm not saying I'm dictating anything, but from what I see, Rice can't be signed. For me, okay, there's a few factors. Overpriced. I think it was 100 million. Too much. There's going to be too much pressure on him. I think I said this in an episode before. He could turn into the next Maguire with that kind of pressure. Look at the system he plays in. He plays in a counter-attacking system or pragmatic system. Whether it's for West Ham or England, his play is dependent on countering, defending quite a bit more than having possession and dictating play. We need someone that can dictate the play. And remember what Mr. B was saying, that fluid formation. At West Ham, I've really just seen them keep more of a rigid 4-2-3-1 and just counter. I've seen them, even against Everton, they were countering. It worked there. I don't know what Everton were doing, but it worked there. Can Rice really be fluid into the 3-4-3 or the 4-3-3? I don't, because he's not really familiar with that kind of fluidity. He's not familiar with that. So I don't want to see Rice. I'm sorry.
So just final thing here. The first window from Matthew Bassett says it should be a right back, centre back, CDM as we just discussed, and then a right winger. No one's mentioned the strikers, that maybe Ronaldo's staying. We got to prioritise one position. For me, it would be centre backs are okay. I would go probably. I would like to see what Garner could do sitting in the midfield. He plays deep. Maybe a right winger for me.
We need a forward. I'd say forward as well, definitely.
Okay. Well, guys, it's been really interesting going through all this. It's been hurting my head, feeling like all these, what the future beholds and having this vision. We can't really see what's really going to go on. Fine, I just want to put this out here. This is my brother, Zico Kahinde. He says Isaac, or the Somali guy, Swedish striker, we should go for. He's 22, 6'4" for Real Sociedad. His numbers ain't good for goals, but yeah, he does fit the bill. He's a bit like Haller.
I don't want no striker. When you say you want a striker who don't strike, Rob, come on, man.
It's about the system, isn't it? About the system. And finally, Matthew Bassett says Paulina Alvarez, Basuma, Haidara, Neves, Turamendi, And
That's
these
4.
yeah,
He's
very
named
better
5.
alternatives than
And
Rice.
cheaper.
So it's not always
And
a big
cheaper.
name. You don't always have to go for a big name.
We could
We
probably
should go
get
for the
2.
best
We
guy.
could probably
Alvarez
get.
is the guy that plays for Ajax at the moment, and he does a good job in there.
We
So
could
there's so
probably
many.
get 2 of those players for the price of Rice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I'm saying though, yeah, because I didn't just want to like shit on Rice and then that's it. The DOF has got to look for players that play in possession systems, not just going for who's touted as being like the next big thing, no matter what.
Good.
You know, that's what I'm saying.
That's a very good point. We were going to discuss the Leeds midfielder whose name is Kalvin Phillips. He's an England international. I'm acting like you guys don't know him. We all know who he is, but we haven't got time. We're going to discuss that maybe tomorrow on Mr. B's show. But it's been great, guys, for coming in and sharing your thoughts with us. We haven't solved anything, I don't think. I think this is a good start. We did try. We did try our best to get to grips with it, but there's a lot of work to do, not only here, but with the Man United. And I don't know how we're going to look in the next season or by January. I don't know how we're going to be looking. What I do hope for is that we see the most important things, that we see some progression. And I just want to say, Eddie, thank you again for coming on the show. Do you want to just give yourself a little plug here and tell us what you're all about and where we can find you?
I just want to say again, like when I come on to these debate shows, it feels like it's it's not enough time. I wanted to keep going a little bit. I mean, there's so much dissection to go through. But thanks for having me on. You can find me at Eddie's Football Waffle. I do some commentary videos, a bit of animation is going to be coming through. But yeah, everyone hit the like and subscribe because Man United agenda is still growing. I think what 1.6K is it right now? Still
nearly 1.5. That's what we're looking, guys. Spread the word. Yeah, we're looking for 1.5. So keep spreading it. Keep spreading it. Keep spreading it.
And thank you, Mr. B. Mr. B, do you want to give us a quick rundown of what we're doing tomorrow night as well, so that people know what time to tune in?
Is the quiz on tomorrow?
No quiz. We did the preview. It's a preview show.
Oh my lord! Yeah, we got the preview. We got a preview show 8:30. Obviously, Everton, Man United. That's going to be the return of the Solo, which should be back. Solo should be back tomorrow. He should also be joining me on the takeaway tomorrow evening with me and talk. Saturday, we've got the watch along with talk plus special guest yet to be announced. And then we've got the reaction show Saturday as well. And then Sunday, no doubt we'll be there Sunday 8:30 to fill your ears full of Man United agenda waffle.
Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Big up Eddie, big up Mr. B, and we will see you definitely tomorrow, 8:30. Later.